everybody. It's Super Ty. I'm joined with Comic Book Brando, and we're going to be talking about cool books that are coming out tomorrow, which is December 12th.
Correct.
I had to think about it for a second. There's a lot of really cool stuff that's coming out. Stuff that's been a little bit delayed. Stuff that's been really, percolating in the zeitgeist. I don't know. Trying to think of the best ways to put it.
I mean, that works.
Making things exciting. As usual, if you guys have any questions, comments, anything that you want to, say to us, you're more than welcome to just write it down there in the little comments, and we'll answer it with quickness.
Yeah.
I'm going to start off with one I've been looking forward to. It is the first issue of The Batman Who Laughs by Scott Snyder and Jock. It was really good. It threw me for a loop for a couple of times. I'm a huge fan of Jock's artwork, though, and it really kind of adds to the eeriness and creepiness of this. Huge fan of this. It was really cool. I liked it a lot. And one joke that I thought was hilarious.
Angelique says, "Hey, y'all."
Hey.
All right.
And Jose says, "Hey, guys. Hey."
What up, Jose? Batman Damned #2. So this is one you've been waiting for, right?
Yep.
If you did catch that first issue, that scandalous, controversial first issue,
Ooh.
now the second issue is out. So the Joker's dead. Clearly we have a certain female who's quite enamored with the Joker shows up in this issue. More dark storytelling, more creepy potential magic. There's all sorts of strangeness happening and violence and grittiness, and this book is the for mature audiences Batman book you've been waiting for. So don't miss the second issue. It'll probably get really hard to find very quickly.
Yeah. My next one is Flash number 60, Beat Down by Fuerza. So in the Flash comics, there's been a lot of different forces. There's the Speed Force, Strength Force, Sage Force, all these different things. Well, Fuerza is the new, avatar of the Strength Force. Out in, where is it? Oh my goodness. It's in Spain, it's not Spain, Corto Maltese, sorry. But is she a bad guy? You're not really sure. She's fighting all these cops, but is she actually the person that we should be rooting against at this moment? Check it out in this. There is a pretty funny moment in here that I thought was pretty excellent. That Flash, he's a wacky customer.
Joel did his pull list.
Good.
Got his copy of Damned.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're worried about missing out some of these issues, use our pull list.
Yeah.
It's on our website, austinbooks.com. There's a great big banner at top that says reserve your comics. Click on it, and you can just go through, check them, and we pull them in the order that we receive them. So
Yeah.
this is a great way to make sure you don't miss anything that you want to miss, that you don't want to miss out on.
I work here and I send mine in every Monday just to make sure.
And then, it's my turn.
I know, I'm sorry. And then what? You were going to say?
You get your pulls,
Yeah.
and then you still do a loop around. Make sure you didn't miss anything. It's the perfect system. We invented it a zillion years ago.
Yeah.
Detective Comics number 994, the countdown to 1,000. Peter Tomasi and Doug Mankey are taking on the Batman creative team role, and we've got a pretty crazy mystery starting off.
I've heard about this.
Yeah, this is a really pretty wild book. It starts off with Commissioner Gordon and Batman looking at a tank and aquarium that has the bodies of Thomas and Martha Wayne. Kind of shocking and fascinating stuff going on in this.
Like old carcass is, or like new?
Fresh.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it's crazy. Really good, intriguing Batman mystery starting here. If you're a fan, you don't want to miss Detective. It is quite cool, and there will be some familiar faces that you're not expecting. So give this one a read.
Nice. And countdown to 1,000.
The 1,000th issue. That's going to be so awesome.
Yeah. I loved the Action Comics 1000. I can't wait to see what they're going to do for Bats.
Yeah. Because Batman's cooler.
I don't know about that. Miles Morales, Spider-Man #1. I am really stoked about the movie coming up, which we'll also have an announcement on that in a little bit. But this is the first issue of his new ongoing. It's written by Saladin Ahmed, who was really great with that Black Bolt series that happened, so now he's going to take on Miles Morales. This is kind of a catch-up issue for everybody who hasn't really had a chance to get into Miles Morales, and they don't really know much about the character, but it's also setting up pretty much the next couple of story arcs happening there. And a classic Spidey foe shows up. But once again, is he somebody who's we should be rooting against, or is he going to be helping?
Intriguing. Mazel tov. It's the
Hey.
Fantastic Four wedding special. So we've got a couple stories in here, which includes Gail Simone's look at a ladies' night out, a bachelorette party for Alicia. We've got Dan Slott writing a story with The Thing, having some words with Puppet Master, who is Alicia's stepfather. And we also have an awesome Fred Hembeck sort of like look back at the history of Ben and Alicia through the eyes of the Puppet Master. So very cool stuff. It's getting us ready for a big wedding. Another wedding in the comic series that is well known for having its longest running marriage of like
It's true.
anyone in comics. So perhaps we'll have a second longest run from
Yeah.
these two. We'll find out. But this is fun. This is cool. If you've been enjoying Dan Slott's Fantastic Four, you don't want to miss it.
Bringing up Puppet Master, like, when was the last time Puppet Master was used as, like, a really good, effective villain? Like, he's been, out of all the Fantastic Four villains, he's, like, felt neglected, I think, recently.
Well, it's hard to use him because he's like, he is related to this
Alicia Masters, yeah.
side character, and so every time you make him do something really scummy, it's like, well, sort of cast a pallor. But I mean, they show him where he's at right now, and it's very Hannibal Lecter-esque.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so they definitely, and he even like offhand brings things up that goes, oh man.
Oh, okay, cool. See, I'm into that. That
Yeah.
sounds good.
I mean, this like shows him just how bad he can be.
Excellent.
Yeah.
My next one is part of that best defense storyline going on. There's actually two comics coming out this week. I'll let you know what the next one is. This one is The Silver Surfer, written and drawn by Jason Latour, which I did not know he was doing the art on it as well. So the guy who does Southern Bastards getting cosmic with it. And he does some really cool artwork in this as well. This is kind of another little puzzle piece to what this best defense is about, and you're kind of finding out exactly what the defenders are going to have to defend. And it's not Earth. So, or is it? But yeah, I really like it. It's Silver Surfer just stuck on this planet, and Galactus is kind of like teaching him a cosmic lesson. So I really enjoyed the dynamic that they put between Galactus and Silver Surfer. It's no longer master and servant, it's more like partners, which interesting to me.
I appreciate that you set up a mystery of what the next book is.
Yeah, even though it's kind
Even
of
though
obvious
we
and
know-
people can see it right there.
3 of the 4 Defenders books have already been talked about. Who could that last one be? Batman Annual #3. So this is an awesome story, just a full story, one big story.
Like one shot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it kind of ties in with like other things that are. It doesn't. I mean, you can enjoy it by itself, but Batman is facing sort of like a new enemy who's like troubling Gotham. But it's also just as much a story about Alfred and what what his plan, not so much what his plans are, but how he really helps Batman. He's not just a butler. He does a lot of things, and this pretty much showcases all of it. Alfred's a badass. So give this a read if you're a fan of butlers or Batman.
Favorite Alfred that was played in films?
Alan Napier,
Alan Napier?
1966.
The 66 one?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go Michael Gough, however you say his name.
He was very like friendly.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the sort of, and it's not like, I mean, my favorite Alfred is the one from the comics.
Yeah.
But the Alan Napier one had this great daughteringness.
He did.
Where he was like sort of like silly, But he could also like help out. Like there was an episode where he dressed up as Batman.
I remember that one.
And it does not look at all like Adam West's Batman, but it's
Batman with a big white
enough.
mustache.
Yeah, weird.
And British.
Yeah, he was a good dude there.
The mystery revealed. Doctor Strange is the next one of the best defense.
Shocking.
So this brings everything full circle from the very first issue that came out, the Immortal Hulk one. It kind of ties everything up, but also sets up what the actual big story is going to be. Because you can read these in any particular order, but I found that it was really fun to read it in the order that they came out because it kind of just like brings it all back. This is very good. It's written by Jerry Duggan, but the Greg Smallwood art is amazing in it. They do this really great kind of tribute to Steve Ditko's very insane
Mystic landscapes.
Yeah, this is so gorgeous. Like, this is back tattoo material if I ever get one. So anyways, this story is kind of weird because it takes place in the future and everybody lost, and Dormammu is like now like the main person on the planet except for Doctor Strange because Dormammu is saving him for last. But it has a really cool ending that I can't really describe. So check it out. I really enjoyed this one a whole lot.
I'm going to judge everything for now on if it's back tattoo material.
Well, yes, you should. Like,
Is it back tattoo material? I don't know. I really did like that Alf movie.
yeah,
Project Alf.
Project Alf. Yeah.
But is it back tattoo material?
You read that cracked article too?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I legitimately think about that more often than most people probably should or do, but there you go. I did. It was a nice reminder. Amazing Spider-Man number 11. My favorite part of the new Spider-Man game is all the little podcasts from J. Jonah Jameson that pop up whenever you do anything in the game.
Yeah.
So fun. I laugh at almost every one. Whoever they got to play him was just great. Good dialogue as well. So, but apparently, he's also podcasting in the comic book universe. Only this Jonah is pro Spidey. Let's see what kind of trouble that can get Spider-Man into in this particular issue. Some things are going to happen, and we're going to see some deep cut Spidey villains that from the far, far past. So if you're intrigued by that, I cannot recommend it enough. I saw a face that made me drop my jaw.
What?
Yeah.
Brad says, hello, sorry I missed the beginning. What did I miss? You missed a lot of stuff. A mystery that I set up and paid off really well.
I know this is what Brad wants to see.
Yeah, this one was really cool too.
Oh, Brad, Detective is really good.
My next one is the Avengers number 11. This is kind of the end of the second story arc, and as you can tell, a little date is happening, which
I don't know if I'd call that a little date.
it's pretty fun. Like, I'd go on a date with Thor after seeing what, he takes She-Hulk out onto. This is pretty awesome. But it's also setting up, the War of Realms, which is going to be coming by with the Thor book, and it's also setting up this kind of global Avengers initiative kind of thing with all the super teams of all over the world. How if any of them need help, they'll just go to T'Challa and he'll be like, okay, we got your backs kind of thing. So very cool. There's also a character that kind of was dealt a very unhappy ending a while back that is now back, and he is not the same. He's not the same jolly happy character that you think he is. So that's the best I can say without spoiling anything.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Goddess Mode. This is the new comic from DC Vertigo by Zoe Quinn and Robbie Rodriguez, who you might recognize from Spider-Gwen. So very cool art style, very flashy, futuristic. We've got what is essentially a magical girl team, if you're familiar with the sort of manga trope, but in a super futuristic cyber online world.
Yeah.
So they have everything's connected, and something strange happens when that world goes down for just a moment. So give this a read if you like something new, kind of like to read some new voices, see some new styles of art. This is pretty cool, and I think you'll like it.
XMen Red number 11. This is the last issue of XMen Red, which is a bummer because I've been loving this book. Tom Taylor is quickly becoming one of my favorite writers at Marvel. But it ends super well. It seems like there's certain writers that like Jonathan Hickman, like as soon as you read page 1, you know that he knows exactly how he's going to end it, and that's what this is. So I give kudos to that. He's also writing a lot of other stuff coming up pretty soon, so I'm not going to have to miss him for too long. But since this is, you know, kind of being absorbed into the Uncanny X-Men that's been going on weekly, which I didn't grab because everybody knows it's coming out weekly. Super great book. I'm really sad to see it go, but I can't wait to see what Tom Taylor is going to be doing later because this book was great.
Tom Taylor wrote the annual.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey, there you go. See? And that was good.
Yeah, it was really good.
See?
You'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
New Talent Showcase 2018. So this features multiple stories featuring all sorts of new writers, new artists, the folks you'll be seeing a lot more of in the coming years. It's got stories with Batman, Constantine, Catwoman, Jon Stewart, Zatanna, and Wonder Woman. Really great stuff, and nice sort of square bound, lots of comic material. So you're getting a lot of bang for that buck.
Dan's watching. Dan, I hope you're enjoying Prince also and having a beer. My next one is a really weird, wacky book called Outer Darkness. I really enjoyed this one. So it's very Event Horizon, where like space is haunted by ghosts and demon suns and angry gods and all these other things. And this captain, who is kind of an a-hole, I guess I could say it that way, on this program. He's testing the limits of his crew in this one by purposely going through an ectoplasmic minefield, was the best way to say it. I really enjoy this book because a lot of ideas in here are very original, like in interstellar space, the way you power a spaceship is capturing an old, you know, forgotten god and feeding them people, and that's how you move. Like, that's crazy cool idea. So I'm going to be sticking with this one till it ends. Super awesome book.
The Magic Order number 5, the penultimate issue.
It looks like a happy issue.
Ooh,
Yeah.
man. So, Mark Millar has been doing this comic book for Netflix, which they are doing a show?
They are doing a show of this, yes.
So you'll want to read the comic first. Beautiful artwork by Olivier Coipel. I'll never get his name right.
Yep.
I'm sorry, dude. Magicians have like this sort of secret society, and the world is unaware of the true power and what kind of influence they wield. Well, one of them has been making a play at power, and the rest are now going to counterattack against Albany. See what happens, see some shocking developments, and yeah, get ready for the end. It's probably going to be pretty big.
This one's my favorite cover of the week. Alien 3, the unproduced screenplay by William Gibson. So, when the first issue came out, I kind of gave you all the story that, you know, William Gibson, the guy who basically created Cyberpunk, wrote a script for Alien 3, and it never got produced. So now they're making a comic of it. This kind of gives a little more, I don't know what the best word to put it, a little more star power on the main characters of Aliens that was kind of just tossed away in the new Alien 3. You know, yeah. you finally get a little more respect for those characters.
They were definitely
yeah. So, just loving it. It's great. I don't want to tell you anything about it. You should read it.
All right.
There's aliens. I'll say that.
Shocking. Oblivion song number 10. So the brothers have come to an accord to retrieve the device. And then one of them turns it on.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah, the thing that happened, 10 years ago to Philadelphia is about to happen again.
Goosh.
That's going to be a pretty big thing. I don't want to talk anymore about what happens in this issue, but Kirkman's Oblivion song has been a really popular ride. Pretty crazy stuff happening, and it's not letting up.
My last single issue is Superman number 6. The ending of the first... I'm sorry, I'm very sleepy. The ending of the first story arc by Bendis and Ivan Rice. So, as you know, Superman's in this kind of microverse of the Phantom Zone, and he's fighting not only General Zod, but the guy that I can never remember his name, Rogel Zahl, the big bad guy that, you know, Bendis pretty much created for this story arc. And it's kind of, you know, what happens with the legacy of Krypton, because, you know, if both him and Zod die, then that's it. That's all of Krypton, you know, like, they're done, with the exception of, like, Supergirl, I guess. But that's weighing heavily on Superman. And in the very last page, you kind of see a character that's been out of the comics for a little bit come back. So I thought that was pretty cool that this is happening. But, ooh, what happened to him? He's not the same.
Headlopper, Volume 3, Number 2. So there's a Goblin War brewing. And if that's not enough, there's a large egg cracking.
Yeah.
Preparations are being made, and the swords are ready to defend, but it might be pretty violent and pretty crazy. This is like one of the coolest fantasy books on the shelves today. Yeah. So if you haven't read it, get caught up and get into it. It's like, I don't know, like a cross between like your D&D adventures and He-Man, but done in this cool sort of like cartoonish style.
Yeah, and the title don't lie.
Yeah, there are beheadings, so yeah, give it a read.
So my first trade paperback is something from my childhood. It's the Predator Essential Comics. Not too long ago, the Aliens one came out, and so this and the Aliens one is pretty much tied 1989 to 1993. So this has a couple of different story arcs in there. There's Concrete Jungle, Cold War, Dark River, and the collected adaptation of the Predator sequel, Predator 2, that was never before collected. So first time it's ever put in a, collection before. Yeah, and the cool thing is the first 3 story arcs in this is actually about Dutch, Arnold Schwarzenegger's big brother, who happens to be a New York City police detective. So some extra, giant muscular men fights with predators.
That's what we're all there for.
Yeah.
Cemetery Beach, Number 4. Now, if you were going to pick a guy to write a story about kind of like futuristic, yet at the same time a vintage, like turn of the 20th century, kind of like a war book, Warren Ellis would be the guy you'd want to get to do that. So this book is crazy, and you've got like outlandish characters as it's like off-world, and you have just like, this is like the crazy beginning of a war movie scenario where like things are just going bad. So I mean, if you've ever seen Saving Private Ryan or anything like that, just the S hits the fan. So yeah, Cemetery Beach, awesome war book, but fantastical enough for to not feel bad about it. I don't know. I got no tagline for that, but very cool stuff.
I'm really glad that this is back in print now. It's Animal Man by Grant Morrison. This is book 1. This is actually the first 13 issues, as well as the Secret Origins number 39, which had his, kind of retconned story arc. I can't tell you how much I love this series. I loved it so much, I actually wrote a paper about it for the National Pop Culture Association. I got to read about, or speak about metafiction and comic books to a lot of professors of English and stuff, and I never felt cooler in my life. And that's because of this book.
When did that happen?
It happened back in 2011, I think. Yeah. It was the title of my paper. It came from this. It was called "I Can See You," where it's characters that know that they're fictional. This book is so great, so inventive, using a very like D- list character and making him so prominent and mind blowing. Enough gushing. This is a great book. You should pick it up.
All right, Grant Morrison, who's your first big villain going to be? I'm thinking Bwana Beast.
Bwana Beast.
What?
Yeah.
So good. It's really good. Harley Loves Joker by Paul Dini. So this takes place early on in the romantic relationship between the Clown Prince of Crime and Harley Quinn. We've got a kind of a dangerous romance, and things are going to get maybe even more so when Harley accidentally gives up the headquarters that they're staying in. So yeah, crazy things happen. Uses some other Paul Dini characters from his Batman runs to fine effect. Some people you haven't seen in a while. Pretty crazy, pretty fun. If you like these characters, this is a perfect pickup for you.
My last regular one is a book I never knew Jodorowsky did. It's called The Sons of El Topo. It's hard to describe. It's basically a retelling of the story of Cain and Abel, but during the Mexico desert in the 1800s. It's about this really evil dude, Kane, who can somehow, he's never really perceived unless by somebody evil, and he does a lot of bad juju in there. There's a lot of bad stuff that happens, and he's kind of trying to find his own redemption, but also he's recklessly not caring about it. It's hard to describe, but like the artwork's gorgeous, and it's the first part of this, so I'm actually gonna keep reading it and see what happens, because it's pretty darn dark and crazy, and I like Jodorowsky a whole lot, so let's see what happens. Yeah. And we only have this one right now. We're getting a whole big shipment of the rest of them tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jose Ladrone's artwork is just phenomenal.
Yeah, it's great. So I really want to know what happens in future volumes.
And Jodorowsky can spin a mind-bending tale.
He can. Low battery. Oh man.
Oh no.
Uh,
Scarlet, book 2. So this picks up the run of the Revolution from Brian Michael Bendis and Alex Maleev. This was, it kicks off with Scarlet declaring war against the city of Portland for all the injustices she's undergone. She and others have undergone. And she's going to take City Hall. And the whole world is watching, and she's made sure of that. Pretty awesome comic revolution, big ideas, and maybe more important now than ever before. So I highly recommend Scarlet. It's one of my favorite Bendis books of the past, since his early Jinx World days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and Alex Maleev's artwork is always on point. Fantastic read. Give it a shot if you haven't yet.
why don't you go again, since you have one last one? I have the Sidekick special.
Oh, how did we mess up our timing?
I have no idea.
All right. Marvel Knights Punisher, the complete collection, Volume 1. If I had to pick a favorite Punisher story of all time, this is the one.
Welcome back, Frank.
Yes. Welcome Back, Frank by Garth Ennis and Steve Dillon. It is the return of Frank Castle as a human and a regular guy, not an angel, which they just completely just...
Well, they make a joke about it.
Yeah,
in
they
there,
did. They
which is
swatted
great.
aside. It's like, I was an angel, tried it out,
It's dumb.
didn't take.
Back to work.
Yeah. So he's after Ma Nucci's crime family, and one of my favorite things about this book is, even though it's fairly, violent and for mature audiences, Punisher is kind of hilarious in how he dispatches a lot of the mobsters in this.
Very inventive.
Very inventive, very creative. It's definitely like a thinking man's Punisher book, because he's very clever. He's still very stoic and kind of hard-assed, but so good. And this is the idea that the book that introduced to the concept of him living amongst regular people.
Yeah.
Spacker Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good, so crazy. If you are the mature audience's type, this is such a fun, awesome Punisher book, and it'll get you started on years of Ennis and Dillon Punisher greatness.
Dan says, shout out to Jug Winnick's Shazam First Thunder out this week. Yes, shout out to that. I actually love that book. We just had a whole lot to talk about already, so.
What was that last week?
No, this? No, First Thunder. It was the,
the
the
graphic
Superman
novel. Yeah. Superman and Shazam.
Yeah.
I still can't get over that.
So, Sidekick Special of the Week time. It is Batman 100 trade paperback. This is usually $19.99. We are doing it for $6.
Good Lord.
Yeah, $6. I'm going to be picking up a copy tomorrow because I do like Paul Pope's artwork. And if you're not familiar with this book, it takes place in the year 2039, 100 years after the first appearance of Batman. And it's not Bruce Wayne, but somebody's out there in the Batman costume causing havoc in future Gotham.
That is a crazy book. Super awesome looking. I love Paul Pope's art.
Yeah, it's pretty darn weird, but I likes it. So quickly, let's talk about all the stuff we got going up.
Brad's really digging Laser Test.
Oh, thanks, man. Speaking of Laser Tusk, I have a show at Mohawk next Monday.
Saw that.
Yeah, I'm really stoked about it. So if anybody ever wanted to come see it, now's the time, because this is going to be one of our big gigs. Got a lot of cool bands playing with us. Group called Fehrenbacher, another one called Day Eater. So come on by. It'll be really great, and I am begging people to come to this one.
And what day is that show?
That is Monday, the 17th. Starts at 9. We play at 10.
Nice.
So Brandon's gonna go.
That is actually an optimal time for me to go see a show.
Exactly. And thank you for digging it, Brad. What about you, man? What you got?
Tomorrow at the North Door.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm stoked about this for you.
8 o'clock is the starting, I guess doors open 7:30, and 8 is when the talks start, and we're not exactly 100% sure what order they're going to be done in, but it's Nerd Night, and they're doing a Christmas-themed Nerd Night. So it's like 3 conversations, or not even conversations, it's like 3 talks with Q&As, and I'm one of them. My talk is Undead Toys, Weird Presents, and Santa Killers, Christmas in the Comics. So I have this awesome PowerPoint presentation of Christmas comics, and I'll be focusing on some of my favorites. Spoilers, there is a large man in a red suit in one of them.
Sweet.
It's Kingpin.
Okay.
Yes, very cool, very fun. I'm super stoked about it. Gonna talk comics in front of like hit people. That's the thing I
Ooh.
like to do.
Well, we get to do that every day here, too, as well.
We're doing it right now.
Yeah. Let me think if there's anything else I got going on. No, this is actually going to be a really nice slow week for me. I've had a lot of busy days the past couple of days, so I'm just going to try and grade some books and, yeah. Oh, here we go. Alamo Drafthouse on the 29th.
I was just about to hint at
Yeah,
that.
Alamo Drafthouse on the 29th, the one at Mueller, the newest one, they are having a showing of the Spider-Verse
the
movie.
Spider-Verse.
Yeah, Into the Spider-Verse. And our friend David Marquez is going to be there signing comics. Where are you going to get those comics? We're going to be there as well.
We'll have those comics for you to sign.
Yeah, so the movie's going to be playing at 1, and then David Marquez is doing a 3 o'clock kind of like Q&A, and then after that, we're going to be there selling some books, hanging out, having a good time. It's going to be awesome.
David's a former Austin resident, so we know him pretty well. He's done some signings here. He's a very cool guy.
Yeah,
so
I'm really happy he's coming back for a little bit for that.
come out, get your book signed, see a movie. It'll be fun.
Yeah. What about you? Anything else? Got game stuff?
The ladies' D&D group is playing tonight, so I'll just be working on sorting some magic cards.
Cool.
Plus the casual magic group is playing every Tuesday as usual. So if you're new to the game or re-entered the game after a long time or want to learn how to play the game, now Tuesday nights are the perfect time for that.
Cool. Well, I don't got anything else. So you can follow me at SuperTidenton1. You can follow you at.
Comic Book Brandon.
You can follow both of us at Awesome Books, and we will see you tomorrow, December 12th, for all these cool books coming out.
New Comic Book Day.
Yeah, new comic book day. Ha-pa-cha-cha.